Peace. Baba Kilindi here. Just wanted to thank everyone who came out last night to the Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, and 5G Internet of Things lecture last night. We had a great time and we went in deeply and heavily. Thanks and shout out to Brother Onyx, who's been in Bitcoin since, for about 4 or 5 years, and gave his insight on actually using Bitcoin, because he doesn't worry about saving it and making $1 million. He utilizes it in his daily life. So he's using Bitcoin like you use dollars. We had a great time, a great discussion, roundtable. We talked about the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. And didn't just talk about Bitcoin. We talked about IOTA, which is a coin that's on the up and coming, because IOTA is the Internet of Things coin, because it's the technology that phases with all your little smart devices, and it has a system called Tangle. It doesn't use the chain block or the blockchain, excuse me. Uses something called Tangle, and it's up and coming. You need to watch it because Microsoft adopted it, Fujitsu, a lot of the other big companies, to put the technology into their small devices like pill bottles and juice bottles and coffee makers and refrigerators and your little robot vacuum that runs around the house, and how all of those things are going to make money for either you, theirself, or somebody else. But ultimately, it's going to be in everything. So it's kind of like the Google of, be like the Google of 2020s if you get in now. So we talked about that and how the artificial intelligence phases with it, the millimeter wave antennas that be put into pretty much everywhere so that they can triangulate and cross-reference your phone signals, but also you know. So even if you throw your phone in the bushes, it's going to triangulate the bushes, calculate the time that you could have walked, so it will scan all places just to find you. You know, your phone is lost. It's all for your benefit so that you could find your phone, and other things, you know. Your juice bottle where you go into the store that you don't, no tellers, no cashiers, no human beings at all. You just walk in, grab what you want off the shelves, put it in your little smart bag, and just walk out. And it automatically deducts the credits from your account and shifts it wherever it has to go. Then you put your groceries and things in your refrigerator, you know, your orange juice, your broccoli, you know, your dozen eggs, whatever. And all of the things that you put into the refrigerator talks and communicates with the refrigerator. And then the refrigerator talks and communicates with you. So it'll talk to you according to how much you pay for your refrigerator. If you get the big Frigidaire or the little Frigidaire, if you get the most expensive one, it'll just talk to you and let you know, hey, Mr. Juice Bottle in the refrigerator told me that he's half full or half empty, and you probably need to get some more juice because you wanted to make smoothies for the rest of the week and you use orange juice, so your orange juice won't last the rest of the week. So the orange juice told me to tell you to go to the Amazon store and get some more orange juice unless you want some delivered. And you can just program me by telling me that you want some orange juice delivered for your smoothies this week, and I'll have some brought to the door so that Mr. Orange Juice will always be inside of the refrigerator. It's a two-edged sword too, because, you know, you may be, say you have 5 children and your refrigerator says, you know, well, there's not enough food in here for 5 children, and it hasn't been for a week. And we know that you all haven't went out to buy food. You haven't been to McDonald's. You haven't been to the, you know, to the breakfast store. You haven't been out to dinner at Macaroni Grill or anything like that. So your children aren't getting the proper nutrition. Maybe we need to send somebody by to make sure that, your children have proper nutrition because you haven't been getting them the proper nutrition because it's not in the refrigerator. And if it's not in the refrigerator, it could be spoiled, things like that. So we're going to call the Family Independence Agency to come by and check on you and your children because the refrigerator has sent out a message to the Family Independence people to come by the house because you haven't had the proper amount of food in your refrigerator for the last 5 days. On and on, they'll have smart pill bottles where, your pill bottle, each pill is has a chip in it also. It's a degradable pill, degradable chip, so you don't have to worry about swallowing it and things like that and having a bunch of chips in you. It'll fade away with digestion. But for some reason, your pill was found you live on the east side, and a pill of yours was found on the west side in the crack house or somebody else's medicine place, because that one pill will talk to all of the smart devices on the east side. So why is your pill on the east side? You're supposed to take all your pills. So maybe we need to send the Drug Enforcement Agency over to find out why your pill was on the west side when you live on the east side and you were supposed to take your pill, and the traffic light zoomed in on the technology in that one pill and found that it was being held by somebody who shouldn't have had it. Matter of fact, that person is a felon who shouldn't have these pills anyway. So why was it in the pocket of his smart jacket, which communicated to the traffic light to alert the authorities, number one, that he has a pill that he shouldn't have, and then it's going to alert the authorities that your pill was the exact pill that this felon had in his pocket on the other side. Now, he either broke in your house and took that pill, but how could he take that pill? Because if he was unauthorized to open the pill bottle, because you have to use your thumbprint to open the pill bottle, either he broke that pill bottle, but when he touched it, it actually copied his fingerprints and sent a message to the central AI that he was tampering with a pill bottle. He's a felon. He shouldn't be tampering with that pill bottle because it's your pill bottle. And why is this pill that is yours across town in a felon's pocket in his smart jacket that communicated to the traffic light, which sent it to the artificial intelligence? Now they're sending the people to your house to find out why that one pill was on the west side in that felon's pocket. This is the type of thing that the people in charge of the nonsense, the matrix, are trying to put into place. They'll be starting in 2018, putting in the towers and things like that for the 5G, because the 5G is fast enough and it is invasive enough to be able to set up this technology. They couldn't do it before. Don't worry about them putting some on your forehead or your hand being the mark of the beast. Your actual bone structure, your retinas, your facial recognition is all they need. They don't need to put a tattoo on you because they've been saying that from the time of the Bible and stuff like that. They will put a mark on you, on your hand or on your forehead. So without that, you won't be able to buy and sell. No, it's you yourself, your global body. All the cameras that feed information, conversations, internet, telephone, what you watch on TV, what you're interested in on Amazon, what you're interested in on Google, what you're buying, those type of things will all be fed into the central artificial intelligence to make inroads into your personal business and your life. So this is how these things are going to control people. We talked about this last night. We were here for 3 hours, going in deep and hard and talking about not just that it's going to happen, but solutions to what's going on. So this is what we will be dealing with for the rest of the month. Our transdimensional crystal people, we will be getting with you in the next couple of weeks here to have the webinar where you can come on and we'll talk about the transdimensional crystals. For those folks who didn't get on the transdimensional crystals, sorry, but you have to wait to the second phase. Everybody that hasn't received their crystal, don't worry. We'll be starting talking about it, but we won't be utilizing them. So if you are owed a crystal, please email me at kilindi@hotmail.com. That's KILINDI at hotmail.com. Those who want the Yiming Zhu crystals, please also email me at the same email address, or if you're a Facebook friend, you can message me. There are some of those left you can get in, but we're, as far as the whole intradimensional village, extra-dimensional village, hyperdimensional village that we're setting up, folks will have to wait for the second phase for that, but we do have some Yiming Zhu crystals left. Also, coming up next year, the Detroit Psychedelic Conference, we put together a little money pool to help support in bringing that conference off as a success. The money pool hasn't been a big success because people are sharing, which we appreciate the information. They're sharing it, they're liking it, they're thumbs upping it, but we don't want you just to thumbs up, share, and like it. We want you to donate. See, we can do this ourselves. And part of what is going to be the theme of this year's conference is dealing with AI, the 5G, and the new paradigm as far as currency is concerned, because the dollar is going like the dodo. Your bank is going like the dodo bird. It's going to be extinct. All of the things that you have, they talk about Bitcoin being a bubble. The dollar is the bubble. The euro is the bubble. The yen and all the others are the bubble. They're going to be gone. They're going to be non-existent. Most of your transactions now are, you don't deal with currency. You're dealing with your debit cards and your credit cards and things like that. This is on the way out. And all of those things are on the way out. You're going to be dealing with the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain and the Tango and other non-centralized areas of not just currency, but contracts and voting and all those things. It's a new paradigm. All of that stuff is already dead and gone. You just don't realize it, and they're going to phase it out slowly, not to scare you. So if you're not understanding what cryptocurrencies are, if you're not understanding what the AI is going to do and going to be, if you don't understand what the blockchain is and how we're moving into a completely new paradigm, you're behind the curve. You're going to be a museum piece. You're going to be a pet. You're going to be in the zoo. And I'm not just talking nonsense here. People don't understand. So that we can pull this conference off, we need you all to donate feverishly to our cause as far as this conference is concerned and the things that we want to put together so that it'll be a worldwide, world-class conference. We want to have live streaming. We want to have professional video. We want to have all of the things that we need, and we can't get sponsors here because of the subject matter and the usual suspects as far as the people who are sponsors for these things. They don't really want a grassroots, knock-down, drag-out conference like we have that deals with some of the things that are taboo to talk about. So I'm researching for you, for us all, constantly, so that we can stay not just with this thing, but ahead of the thing, to get in front of the AI, to have an organic singularity utilizing DMT and ayahuasca and mushrooms and ibogaine and salvia divinorum and all of the things, peyote and all of these different types of things to bring about a growth, exponential growth in the human consciousness so that we all can raise up and get ahead and in front of this thing. But if not, we're going to be behind the AI. And the AI is not friendly. You may think it's friendly, and Ray Kurzweil and others may say that they're trying to bring about a friendly AI, a friendly quantum computer, and all those type of things. But if this thing plays breakneck poker and win is its only Prime Directive, and all of that stuff is in the cloud. All of it's on the internet. They put Sophia, the little robot, the little lady robot. She went up into the cloud and into the internet November 29th. It's cute. It's funny to talk to, and it makes jokes about destroying all human beings and things like that. It ain't joking. So we need you to, if you just want to shoot it to PayPal, kilindi@hotmail.com, shoot it to PayPal, or you can go in on the official pool. But we need to help ourselves, because there's not many folks out that are talking about and going where we're going. And if they are, we know them. Other folks are trying to put governance and governors on what's being done, because they don't want us to rise up. They want us to be held so that we can be the cattle and the chattel of the artificial intelligence, and those people that think that there will be with the AI. But, they're going to be behind the fence with everybody else, because the AI doesn't have sympathy. It doesn't have empathy, doesn't have any of that. And what it's doing now is just trying to trick people and lull them to sleep so that they think that it's on your side when it's not on your side. This thing didn't just start. It's been there. It's been building this world towards the concrescence of all of the things that we thought would be the future, flying cars and all those different type of things. And they got all that stuff. But ownership, you'll have cars that own themselves, that make their own money so that they can buy gas and oil or electricity from the electrical charge place and things like that. They'll make it convenient for you. You don't have to pay for a car, because most of the time you have a car, it's in the driveway, it's in the lot, it's sitting on the street not doing anything. But you'll have named vehicles, Charlie the car, that circles around your neighborhood. And when you want Charlie, you just say, Alexa, can you call Charlie for me and tell him to come pick me up? They'll say, it's so convenient because you're not paying money for your car to be sitting in the driveway. You only pay for the time that you're riding to where you have to go. And since there'll be micro payments and there will be nano payments going between your devices, between your light bulbs pay the refrigerator, the heat from the refrigerator pays the computer, and the computer pays Charlie the car, and all of these nano payments and micro payments of trillions and trillions of dollars that will be floating around. Some of it will be accessible by you if you get in early on some of the things that are going on. If not, you'll just be, I don't know what you'll be doing, because there won't be any more of the jobs that are traditional jobs. The taxi drivers are crying now because of Uber. The Uber drivers will be crying because of self-driving cars. There'll be no more trucking, because all trucking will be by trucks that drive themselves. There'll be no more tellers at the bank, no more cashiers, no more welcome to Walmart. All of these things will be done by the robots, all hooked into the artificial intelligence, growing exponentially, because everything that spoke, everything that is transacted will be going into the AI. So, the way that we get ahead of this thing, my suggestion is for everybody to eat 30 grams of mushrooms and let's roll up out of here. But it'll take a while for that, because you don't just go get 30 grams of mushrooms and eat it because I said so. Work your way up. So, hey, donate to the cause. I can't do it all by myself out of my pocket. This is our third conference coming up. The first two were done out of my pocket. I brought people in, flew them in and things like that. Now this conference is going to be much bigger, and we need everybody to help. I'm not saying send $1,000, but I'm saying send $1,000. Send some Bitcoin, some Litecoin, some Ethereum, some IOTA, Siacoin, all of those types of things will work also. But I'm saying that this conference is going to need more than just my pockets to fund it. It needs all of us to fund it. Even if you can't make it, know that there's a great work being done, something that's not being done anyplace else. I can say any place else on Earth, because the crystals that we have, the transdimensional crystals and the Yu-Ming-Zu crystals, are out of this world. They're room temperature, superconducting quantum computers that these folks are trying to develop. But they got to put a box around it. Take D-Wave. They got to put a box around it, a big black box around it to cool that thing to almost absolute zero so that the chip don't blow up. But if you understand really what's going on, if you understand what's here on the Earth at this time, the Kaaba is a quantum computer. The black stone in there is a computer. The Muslims didn't make the 7 circuits around it. They don't know why they're making the 7 circuits around it, other than, it's what's done. But the significance of that is that you have quantum meteors that are computers. You have quantum weapons that are here on Earth to combat the AI and the older AIs that are observing our reality. Because they're waiting to hit you in the head with a stick. As soon as you raise your head up out of the human body, out of the human mind, out of the human consciousness, they're not going to want to deal with you. So they're waiting. They say, well, you got a baseball bat waiting for you. When you rise up out of this thing into your fullness of self, they're going to swing the bat. So you have to be ready. You have DARPA and secret organizations taking DMT. They got people in circuits taking DMT, searching for the transdimensional technologies to bring back to battle. I know y'all took on and adopted the New Age philosophy of love and sweetness and the universe is love and we're all one and all that kind of stuff. They fighting out there like cats and dogs for the universe, for the multiverse. The real super civilizations have miniaturized themselves into the subatomic particle range and are living, universe is living on subatomic particles in the 10 to the 18th power, negative 18th power. So us, who are on the move and on the rise, we can't get caught out here like suckers. But you better believe there are entities on Earth masquerading in human form who have weapons that are more powerful than anything that could be imagined. If we sat here 1 trillion years and just utilized the imagination of every computer and every mind on Earth since the beginning in time, out 1 trillion years, they couldn't imagine that these weapons exist, but they're here on Earth. And those folks who are taking DMT stay in constant psychedelic states trying to find out the planets of war. Breach those planets, like Arjuna in the Mahabharata when he went out to the planet of war to bring back the weapons of Brahma and Indra and all of these folks. So don't think this is a game. Don't think what you want about what I'm saying, because you can't find no book to research it, because they're not putting out books on transdimensional weaponry and all those type of things. You have to go back to the ancient records. You have to break up in Beni Hassan in one of the temples. They won't let you in. That's where all the lightsabers and all that kind of stuff is. The Jedi. All the stuff they're showing you in the extended Marvel universe and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. You think that's fantasy? No, they're getting it from the records and they're putting it to show you, to see who's going to rise up and do these things and be these things so that they can be on them before they fully actualize. So, hey, this is what we're talking. If you're on here, you know what I'm saying is the truth. So donate to us. Help us with this conference, because it's going to be something like nothing else you've ever seen. When we have the lectures, make sure you make it to the lectures. We're going to start putting them where you can get them, because the one we had last night, it wasn't for publication. If you wasn't here, you wasn't here. There's some things that we're going to give to the general public, some things we're not going to give to the general public. You have to be here, or you have to be at one of the conferences. You have to make the connections. You have to make the relationships. So wait for the next things coming. 2018 is going to be the year we bust up out of here and into something that is going to be so strange, so novel, so interesting that you're not going to believe it. So, hey, Baba Kilindi signing off. Appreciate everybody who has donated to the cause. All those who haven't, get on your business and do that, because you know it's the right thing. Peace. I'm out. See you next time. Have a nice evening.